And the third thing that I would really love to dive deeper with you is what you said is expansion, contraction, the stop and go when we leap. Because most content that I've ever seen in the last however many years on social media about manifestation and quantum leaping is like, you make that jump and then everything's fine. While my experience always has been expansion and then a little bit of contraction because we need to learn to hold that capacity. We need to grow that vessel. And sometimes that means retreating or contracting back a little before we then expand further and, so on and so forth. So I would love to have your insights or your story about how you navigate these expansion contraction moments, especially right now.
But beautiful question. The other day I received a divine download and I said that while our soul is seeking expansion, our body is seeking safety.
Wow.
So that understanding really landed for me in a way that helped everything make sense. Like, okay, this is like what is happening. And as you say, first and foremost, like there is just no judgment. That is the most important part. And the thing that came up to me, as you said, it might not be directly answering your question, but it's very related, is the concept of hypervigilance that really came up for me because I pride myself for the longest time as someone who is so-called efficient and fast, which I am being a manifesting generator, very up to speed fast. But then at the same time, there is a level of hypervigilance that I wasn't aware of until I was aware, especially because I work with a lot of energy work, whether, it is for myself or for my clients. And then sometimes I feel like this activation, so to speak. And there is kind of like a mixture, like you say, it's like the expansion and contraction, like there is like this real activation where the cups are being activated, energy is being downloaded. But on the other hand, the nervous system is also being activated. So it's like where the nervous system is going on this hyper vigilant. For me, it looks like quote unquote efficient and excited. But then underlying it, there is like this level of, it doesn't feel like anxiety and nervous for me. It feels different for everyone. For me, it never come out as anxiety and nervous, but it comes up as 24/7 being on guard and on alert. And it's very subconscious, so it's not obvious. It looks like I'm very efficient, looks like I'm da-da-da-da. But on the deep level, there is this tightness and contraction where I'm like, okay, is there a tiger gonna eat me up? And like, I'm on that like 24/7 on guard alert. And then how I realize it is when I drop into meditation, like, so this is what I do these days, right? After I realize this concept, if I feel quote unquote activated and I'm not sure, is this like a real divine activation or is more like a nervous system activation activated, And then I'll like, okay, this whatever excitement that I think I'm feeling, let's just meditate. Not trying to achieve anything in the meditation, just like be here and now, be present, be with the body. And immediately within seconds, I feel my entire body soften and sinking. So immediately I know that was a nervous system thing, like, because a real activation, meant to feel easy, right? I mean, like, yes, it's uncomfortable, but it can be easy. So if you have that layers of like, tightness and contraction, is always the nervous system. And that's okay. It is part of it, the expansion and contraction and all this quantum leaping, they do happen just like that. But not many people talk about the behind the scenes. So not many people talk about the contraction that was happening, the nervous system regulation that was happening, that ability and capacity to not only receive the wealth, but to hold the wealth and to feel safe in it. That way you can expand with ease, joy, and fun when you can balance this like activation with a regulated nervous system, kind of like the regulated nervous system is like your foundation of the house. So if you have a strong foundation and pillar, then you can build a fancy house, 100-story, 1,000-story, I don't know, like get fancy, but have that foundation strong first, if that makes sense.